Hello there, this is Cindy at cindybdesigns.com. Thank you for joining me today. We are going to be making this super cute little John Deere tractor created from this stamps. It's a bundle, Tractor and Company, and it just came out at the beginning of July for our online exclusives. And it looks complicated. It's not, it's really easy. Couple delicate pieces, and I'm going to show you how to do it. But I want to show you this bundle first. You get all of these. You have a happy birthday, kind of like a hello, hey, thinking of you, kind of a thank you with a thanks for pulling me through. And then all of these solid images, every single one of them has a coordinating die cut. I've already stamped these down in Versamark and just clear embossed it real quick. So, and I line them up, and I'm going to die cut them for you just to show you how everything works out perfectly. So you have the corn stalks there, and there is the corn. I still don't have any real allergy medicine on board. I should fix that today. We have pumpkins, and then Christmas trees, little birdie. You have your haystack, just some decorative flags right there. There's your tractor, the tractor seat, and then the wheels. And this guy here, you attach it to the back of the tractor so you can haul stuff in it. But, I mean, right there we have fall, summer, fall again, autumn, Christmas, year-round. And I think this is a super cute kids stamp set too. So here are the standalone die cuts that you get with it, okay? These two cut out this, and they're like wheel wells to go over if you want. But since I'm doing a John Deere, they don't have them. It would go like, right there for the small and the large one. And this little guy here, that cuts these, I don't know the formal name, but you know what I mean. I'll hunt it up. And then here is the Christmas tree. It's a standalone one, and it'll cut that. And then we have this little guy down here, and it cuts the rims, or it's the center of the tires. You get a large one and a small one. And then this piece right here, that is for, well, it's paper, okay? I'm going to say kind of like the front of the tractor head, so to speak. So they all have a purpose here. And I'm going to go ahead and then turn around and get these die cut out. So this is what it all looks like. And here would be like that little, no, wrong direction. The trailer part to it. Okay, this is the front. Yeah, I just did a 3D thing, so sometimes everything gets thrown off in my head. So you have the big guy there, the little guy there, and back here would probably be two little guys. Now, you can use either this piece right here or grab the seat and, cut it up a little bit and use that to like make it a hitch or something. Or if you wanted to get really fun and just kind of different, use that flag. Lots of opportunities here. Now, how I put this one together is, so today we're just going to put this together, get you familiar with the bundle a little bit. And then we're going to come back on Friday and do a couple cards and a couple other things, just to decorate this up on the inside. But this is what this is mainly for, is there are different ways that you can position the trees in here, from the tractor itself or the little trailer there. And they all fit in perfectly. Lots of colors, even with, you just can use anything that you want. So this to me is just going to be a lot of fun to play around with and take apart. So it might get a little bit messy and noisy here. I'm going to set all of that aside. Now what you're going to want to make this is, you're going to want some black scratch paper. And I have some here, along with garden green and then daffodil delight. And we have to get this cut out. But you know what? Let's make the box first. But put those get them ready. Okay, hopefully I'll get this right for you. This is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. All right, so on the 2 3/4 side, I'm gonna check my math. Again, you want to put a score line in at that, like, move your blade down at 3/4 of an inch. And then again at 2. And then flip it around to the 3/4 side, and you want to score that at 3/4 and then 3. And I know a lot of you like to do all your scoring before you're cutting. I just do it the opposite. It's easier for me to see that way. So on the 3 3/4 inch side, or is it this side? You can do it either or, but okay. On the 2 3/4, honestly, either or. But you do want to stay consistent about it the entire time. Just give it a little bit of miter up there. You know, nothing too big. And I just look on the side of each line, so I'm basically cutting the ugly part out. And I shouldn't have had that second cup of coffee this morning. Okay, and that is it for the box. Super simple. And the next thing you want to do is grab some tear and tape. And this is still left over from a couple months paper pumpkin kit. So I'm going to cut some of that. And then you want to put it on the tabs on the outside. And for something like this, I like to cut because I want the end-to-end coverage there, and especially with a box or anything 3D. So I got that down. And you might hear a little bit of noise. I got some Spire trucks across the street from me. And that's our local, I think it's gas, I'm not sure. I just know it's way expensive one time of the year, and because one time not, because I have gas and electric. And I'm glad I do, because I cannot stand cooking with electric stoves. Either it's undercooked or I burn everything. It's just, I don't know, it is weird. So got that down. Just going to use my bone folder to give it a little extra tapey. And I'm just folding everything in. And then pull the tear and tape off. Then all you're going to do is you just fold it in. And you're going to be good. See how easy that was? And that's how we make the box. And then pretty much all we do from here on out is die cut all this and then get it adhered down. So let's start doing that. I'm going to have to sit back down when I do the, put it all together with the adhering and stuff, because it's kind of hard to do standing up for me. But I do have to stand up to do this, so I had to make room. And okay, let's go ahead and get our tractor cut first. Make sure you can see this okay. I got that frog back, but yeah, I really got to deal with these allergies. I mean, I have dealt with them. I just ran out of medicine and haven't picked up any more. I'm going to pop that down. And the only thing that we want green is just going to be a couple of these. I'm going to run that paper through a little bit more. And, you know, get as much black in here as I can too. So we want both wheels out of this. We'll have to run those through twice. And then that little, it's on the tip of my tongue what it is. I'll blurt it out in the middle of something critical. And then we have our Daffodil Delight. And we want to get quite a bit out of this. And this is going to be run through twice as well, because we're going to need 2 of everything. So that's like the tractor part at the top here. And then that's going to be the seat. And I need the insides of the tires. Okay, I got my bottom plate. I'll go through this again in a minute. But right now I don't want to mess anything up. So I'm just going to take that on through. And you know that snap, crackle, pop is completely normal. This is just cutting everything out. So for die cuts, you have your plate 1, 2, and then you need 2 3s. And I like to keep my top plate as clean as I can. The bottom plate, I don't care too much about. Oh, this is a mess. Because when it gets too wonky or just too, well, yeah, too wonky or out of shape like that, I just flip it over for the most part, and that generally straightens it out. So I'm going to set all that aside for a second to get everything out, like this little delicate piece right here. And I am going to pop them in our box for safekeeping for now. So I'm trying to get all that out. Yeah, wait till you see me glue this together. It's just going to be, whoa. And I should have drank tea, but you know, I'd rather have that. I'd rather have coffee than tea right now. Tea is like a wintertime thing. Coffee is like I need energy. Okay, so I know I have to cut these out again, so I'm just going to set them aside. I really got to do something with this throat, and I'm sorry. Maybe I'll stop and go to the store and get some allergy medicine and then come back and start. Because this is going to be, I mean, it's going to take a while to do this. I mean, nothing too crazy, but all it really is, to tell you the truth, where it does get kind of crazy is putting this all together. That's the most time-consuming part of them all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this because I still don't have to do the voiceover, which I'm good with. And I'm hoping it'll cut down on my time too. And then get everything else die cut out and get my adhesive ready. And then we'll come back together and put this together. So you're not going to, you know, miss out on any step by step. I'm not going to speed it up or anything like that. Okay, I am back. I got everything cut out. So we have 2 of everything like we said before. So the first thing we want to do is bring our box in, and my glue's getting low, so I might have to replace it in a minute or 2. And sudden thunderstorm out of nowhere, so it's getting kind of dark, but we'll wing it. Okay, now when you put these on, see, how did I do this? I grabbed the wrong one. You're gonna have to flip it over so that everything lines up like that, okay? And this looks like it's kind of the ugly end. There's honestly just no way around this, to tell you the truth. And I want to make sure I have everything right because I'm weird about that. Okay, this is how I want to start. One more peek to see if you can see, and you can. Okay, so you want to place this piece here just a little bit over that, about that much, because you want that overhang so that way your tractor stays balanced. So I'm just going to eyeball it. What I learned from this here is that this very bottom piece, it works really well when it's flush with the bottom of the box, but then I noticed how the well in back, you know, it wasn't showing beyond the box. So that's where you got to kind of eyeball it a little bit to where this, like, maybe a teensy bit over 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 at the most overhang that you're going to have like that. So what I did is I just kind of eyeballed where to put this, because I know that this part here is going to go all the way down. But, you know, this part is going to stick up though too. We're probably going to get just a little bit of this on the back. Be careful of the front. And I think we are going to be okay right there. I'm looking to see if you can see, and you can. Because at least with liquid adhesive, we have some wiggle room. So I'm just kind of like moving everything over a little bit until I'm happy with the way that it looks. And I am. And hopefully there's some adhesive there. This will dry clear, so don't worry about it. I want to make sure that this back end here is going to stick. And you know what? I have another pair of tweezers. So let's just, you know, get this all done at one time. So while we're waiting for that, let's go ahead and get our tires together, okay? So we got our 2 large, and then the 2 small, and then we're just simply going to glue all that on. Now the projects that we have on Friday, I'll look for them like around 3 o'clock or so. And then we should be good. Oh, and I also did last weekend the paper pumpkin alternatives. So that's the video that you want to leave a comment on to win your kit. I did 2 of them. You know, you can leave a comment on both, and I'll throw your name in both hats. And that way you'll be able to win July's kit, US only. And I'll get that sent out to you. So you want to take a look at that and let me know what you think. Okay, so for these tire thingies, I just want to pop that right in the middle. They're fairly easy to go down. Now, like I said, this project is mainly just a lot of die cutting and assembling, but I wanted to go through it with you all the way. So I ran into a few glitches, you know, because there's not exactly instructions on this kind of stuff. You just figure it out as you go along. And that way it might be able to help you just a little bit. Make it easier. Now, the first thing I did was like Google John Deere's. And that's how I figured out where to place those. I still didn't get the correct name for them or anything like that. Row bar? Is that it, a row bar? I think so. Okay, so we're good with that. I'm going to just set these aside. Having lots of tweezers for this helps too. One thing that you should have done that I didn't do this time around, I should have put this on first like I did the other time, but you know what? It's still going to work because it's going to fit just fine. It's just going to be kind of sticky in there. I'm going to get some powder and rub that over because as you can see, it has dried clear. So now I have to, it's like a surgical strike sort of, but at least it's on the even side. Get this down. I know that's gonna cover that. And I just put like a little teeny tiny bit along there and the edge there. Now this part of the, this is gonna go down really, really bad, okay, and I'm sorry. I just have to be on top of it for it to work out. And it did. So that is how that looks. And then you've got that. I'm going to put the seats and that little row on there last. I don't know if you heard that thunder or not. That was respectable. Okay, so for this one, remember, we want to flip it over. And we're going to have to do the same thing with this piece as well. And my hands are super gluey right now. I got to rub some of it off. Okay, there we go. So you also want to turn this yellow piece over as well. And then that is going to go, that kind of, you know what? This may be kind of cheesy, but maybe not that shape, but it kind of looks like the rear end of the dinosaur or something like that. Okay, now I gotta switch this around. See, just weird stuff comes random to me. We want to get this down as much as we can. Get that straightened up. Okay. And there we are. Now I'm going to pull our box back in. And honestly, this part here, when I laid it down, I eyeballed it and it turned out okay. You know, sometimes you just gotta trust your gut, you know? Okay, so we want this a little bit up here like last time. Because remember, I had a problem with that. About right around there. And it's easier getting this one on, believe it or not. I wish I had positioned myself back a little bit, but it's easier to get this on because you have the box to kind of steady you a little bit. Now I'm checking. Do I like how this is looking? And I think so. And you know what? I put my glue up there rather than the bottom, so don't do that. Because now I'm going to have to squish it a little bit. And I'm going to grab the other set of tweezers. And then I'm going to let that set up for a second. Okay. And I'm checking my lighting. Yeah, I think we're okay. I'm going to let it set up. And then we'll come back and get this together. Okay, so I got everything set up there. These are the things, I'm going to put them on the last because honestly, I struggled with them because they are just so, so, so delicate. And, but you know they're staying. So let's get this out of the way. Let's go ahead and put our tires on. I like to start with it. I don't have a preference, to tell you the truth. But I know that it's going to cover this entire part. So I'm just going to put the glue there. And you want it to be behind the box like that, okay? But also just covering that wheel well a little bit. About like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the front. And if I get them both setting down, okay, the other tires, they're just a breeze to put on. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I know it looks like a lot of glue, but this is the one where I have to really just, I'm going to hold that back wheel down. In the back, this one's going to be all over the place. And if they're both touching at the same time, and they are, then I am good. I'm not gonna let that set up. And then we're going to do the same thing again for this. And if you don't get your back all the way down, like I didn't, this is a really good time to fix it. I'm going to get our other little tractor wheel on. Remember, you want it back behind there, but above that well, kind of. Okay, it's gonna be in your face a little bit because I have to eyeball it. Okay, I'm good. And then for the last one, we're just going to do the same thing. And this one here, I mean, it's gonna set itself up by itself. So it matches with the other ones, or I have to help it. I have to help it. And my fingers are getting really sticky again, and I don't want this to set up yet until I know it's going to be even. Come on. This has to go down just a little bit more. Just a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to flip it over again. And one thing to remember too, if you got two good sides, which there aren't, like the back side, you can tell it's not its best. Though you pair those up and then you pair these up there. And the same with the, no, not the black part, because it really doesn't matter. So these are like our little chairs here. And I am just going to put some adhesive down here on the bottom. And you kind of want to pop that. You don't want it on the tire or anything. Well, okay, why not? You don't want it so it's sitting on the tire. I mean, it's a paper tractor and it's going to be, you know, a little bit whimsy anyway, but, you know, and they get it lined up like that and you're okay. I'm going to do the same thing to this side and just eyeball it. But, you know, this time I got to flip it over. For the seat, Did I just mess that up? I didn't. Okay, good. Yeah, this got me the last time too. Eyeballing it. Okay. Got that down. And then all we have left to do is these little row bars. And if I'm wrong, apologies, because, you know. Okay, so let's see how I did this here. Uh-oh, did my thingy come loose again? Okay, I'll get that fixed. And this one is just, okay, you see the difference? That's the short end, that's the long end. You want the short end up front. So it goes like that, and I place that like right about there. And then I want to make sure that the long end kind of comes up by the steering wheel. Does that make sense? So I'm not going to put too much adhesive down here. And then I'm going to get that on. So while this is getting set up and drying, and I'm, you know, going to fudge with it, getting it placed, for June's paper pumpkin kit, Paula Addison, you know, get a hold of me. Oh man, this is just going to be... Trying to place them both at one time is why liquid adhesive can be your best friend. Okay, that looks more like an SUV rather than a... Okay, if I pull it up a little bit and get that angle that it's meant for... Which oh, okay, I did enough. I did enough. I need to get that one secured real quick. But you know what? I'll put this on for the pictures because, yeah, you've seen me do enough of this today. So this is what all we have to do is add the other one, and this is what it turns out to be like. So let me know your thoughts. Come back on Friday, you know, 3-ish or so, for some cards, and we'll do the trailer thing to it and make some fall things, and, you know, just whatever I get around to designing. And don't forget to leave your comment over at Paper Pumpkin, and we'll just kind of pick this apart a little bit. But I just think this is super cute and fun. Measurements, everything will be, you know, just for the box there, will be over on the blog at Cindy B Designs. And I will see you again on Friday. So have a good one.